Alright, another toy haul video. This one's actually a little smaller than I would have anticipated it was going to be because I went to a lot of stores yesterday. I went to 5 Walmarts, 2 Targets, 1 Meijer, a Five Below, 2 GameStops, an FYE or Fi, I don't know how you say it, and a Hobby Lobby. And for all those stores, I really didn't come away with all that much. So first, at a Walmart, I picked up a Pocket Pop Keychain Gremlins Gizmo. This is a Walmart exclusive variant, and they have some larger ones that look similar to this, the giant ones that are like, I don't know, 12 or 13 inches tall. And this Gizmo here has a set of 1980s 3D movie glasses. He looks a little more cartoonish than I would expect him to look for Gizmo, but I picked him up to go with the Gremlin that I have, the Pocket Pop Keychain Gremlin, who is wearing a set of 3D glasses, so he'll go with that. While I was at Walmart, I was going through their clearance section, and I found one of these. I remember my kids just really getting into the whole fidget spinner ordeal, and it was really popular a couple years ago. I'm surprised that there are any more of them on store shelves, and I think that this kind of is a tribute to that. I already have one in my collection, but when they marked it down to 50 cents, I thought, why not? It may be something that will come in handy to fill in that catch-22 of my collection. I display things on a pegboard, and so I'm sometimes looking for oddball shaped things, and this might fit the bill for 50 cents. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nice metallic blue with a pretty nice looking packaging. Now, although the Cars franchise didn't mean a tremendous amount to myself or my kids, I do like collecting police cars, and this is a Cars mini car set, and it is a all police cruiser or sheriff cruiser theme. So you have the sheriff, then you have a Lightning McQueen in a sheriff paint scheme, and then I'm not sure who this character is. He looks a little rough, but I don't know if he's an imposter or who he is, but I thought that was kind of fun. I don't really have any cars in my collection, and I remember when I was working at Toys R Us, that first movie had hit its heyday, and there were lots of collectors out there hunting for, I'm looking for this car with this specific rim, and that was a lot of fun to watch them dig through all of the Cars stuff. So kind of a kickback to my collecting police cars and my experience of working at Toys R Us. Back in 2009 or 2010, I remember seeing this for the first time at a hobby store. This is a 1/50th scale Batmobile from The Dark Knight, and the tumbler is one of my favorite Batmobiles. I really like the detail on this car and the size of it. They have a bunch of them. They've actually made quite a few different Batmobiles at that 1/50th scale, and I had a bunch of them in a collection, but if you look at this, you see a lot of black and gray. There's not a bunch going on with this packaging. I do like it individually, but if you're going to display a bunch of them all lined up in a column or a row, they kind of all blend in together because all Batmobiles are black. They're different shapes, but at a glance, they all look pretty similar. So I ended up kicking those loose out of my collection, but I do really like this one. It's the first one that I saw, and when I found this one at Walmart, I decided, you know what, I want to put that one back in the collection. It's probably the only one that I will have to put in my collection on the pegboard. When I was at Five Below, I picked up a Hasbro G.I. Joe Cobra Fang construction set. I really like the artwork on this, and it's a simple cardboard box, and I don't usually like to display collectibles and toys that are just a cardboard box. You can tell that it's not an empty cardboard box, but at a glance, how do you know that that's not just an empty cardboard box? It is a building block set, kind of like a cheap Lego set, and it looks pretty alright. I think it's kind of fun. I do think that if you were to open this up, I'm anticipating that these pieces are going to be really cheap and chintzy, and like from all my experience with Lego, I'm going to guess that this would not make a great toy to play with, but I think it's kind of fun to display new in the package in my collection. Speaking of G.I. Joe, they had the G.I. Joe classified 6-inch action figures, and I saw these come out probably 6 to 9 months ago, and I saw the Snake Eyes, and I thought that looked pretty cool. But again, he's an all-black character. Most of the packaging was black, and it didn't look all that great to display new in the packaging. And that's how I do it. I display a lot of this stuff new in the packaging. So Beachhead was one of my favorite characters, and my appreciation for his action figure deepened when I saw the action figure therapy videos that used his character. If you haven't watched any of those, they're a little crude, but they're funny. And so I went to look for one of these when it first came out. I learned that it was a Target exclusive. I went to Target. I couldn't find any G.I. Joe classified figures at all, much less the Target exclusive Beachhead. So I was really surprised to have found this yesterday. I kind of thought that all of those had been kicked loose and they weren't going to be stocking any more of these on the shelves. And when I found this, I was excited to pick him up. When you can find it in the wild, you can pick it up for about $20 plus tax. But if you got to buy it on the secondary market, I have seen it listed for anywhere from $45 to $50 and beyond. So getting this is kind of a fun piece, and it could end up being a good investment piece should I ever want to part with it, since the prices right out the gate were so high on the secondary market. Now I picked up a rival Edge Series Saturn. I already have one of these on display in my collection, and a few months ago I actually picked up another one of these because I was going to use this as my primary Nerf blaster for my Nerf battles at my brother's barn, and I ended up kicking that one loose and decided to go another way. When I found this weekend, it was on sale, originally $39.97, and it was on sale for $29.97, so about 25% off. And I thought, you know what, I really do like the shotgun kind of look to it, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up and use it as my primary blaster. And then an update on the Seinfeld Mini Moment Funko apartment set. A few months ago, I picked up this entire set at Target. When I assembled it and reviewed it, I had 4 of the pieces that matched each other with darker floor pieces, and 2 of them did not match the other 4 because they had lighter floor pieces. And I was trying to find 2 more that had the darker floor pieces so that I would have a complete match set. When I purchased the first set at Target, they would not let me take the display packaging. This is the little display cardboard box that kind of elevates the second row behind the first row. Honestly, I don't know why anybody would buy just one of these. I would think that you would want to buy the entire set, and when you do that, I would think that you would just naturally pick up the box to carry them in. When I went to do that at Target, the Target employee told me that I was not able to take this box. She made me go back to the front, get a cart, and load up each of these 6 packages in the cart, and she ended up putting some Funko Pops in this display. They weren't Seinfeld, they weren't Mini Moment, so I thought that was a little odd that she wouldn't just let me take this packaging. But when I got it home and put it together, I realized that I'm not going to want to display them all assembled because they don't match, and I was on the hunt for 2 replacement components that had the darker flooring so that I could display it all assembled and all of it matching. And I have not seen many of these hardly anywhere in any retail stores. I did end up finding a couple on vacation, and I bought those hoping that they were the darker floor pieces, and I ended up duplicating the 2 lighter floor pieces that I already had. So I returned those, and then a few weeks ago I saw one of these displays at a neighboring Walmart. Somebody had purchased the Kramer out of it, so they, what kind of a sicko would just buy one and leave 5 and make it an incomplete set, but they picked up the Kramer and left the other 5, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to roll the dice. Since this is Walmart, I'm going to go ahead and pick up all 5 of them, and I'm going to hope they let me take this little tray that they came in. I mean, if you buy 20 cans of peaches and they're in one of those little cardboard holders, you don't load 20 cans of peaches into your cart, you pick up the whole tray and you set it in your cart. And I was hoping that logic would make sense to the cashier. So when I did get to the register, I said, hey, can I save on bags and not bag these up and just put them back in the box? And she said, yeah, that's fine. I'm guessing that she didn't know that Walmart has a policy that this is all trademark stuff and you cannot take the retail display stuff. But I felt like since I had her permission, I could at least articulate that to the grader that I had to pass as I left the store. And I bought those 5, hoping that I would end up being able to make a complete set. And those 5 were all 5 lighter floor pieces. So I still didn't have a complete matching set. I had 5 light, and then the one that I didn't have was Kramer, and the one that I had from before was a dark floor piece of Kramer. So now I went from having 4 dark and 2 light to 5 light and 1 dark, and I just returned the other 5 to another Walmart and then kept this display box to display them in. If I didn't have this display box, I would want to set them all up and assemble them, and then I would kind of be like, that really is unfortunate that one of them doesn't match the other 5. But as I have this display tray, now I can put them on display in my toy collection this way, and it really isn't as crucial that one of them is darker on the floorboard than the other floorboards of the other components of the apartment. So that is the toy haul for this week. Thanks for checking out my videos. We will catch you on the next one.
His brain ain't right, but it's fun.
Yes! That's awesome!
That's pretty cool, I guess.
Mark, are you gonna be a dork your whole life? Hope not.
Can't believe you called me a psycho.
Hey, were you in there just now? You are a psycho.
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly. I offer a complete and utter retraction. The imputation was totally without basis in fact and was in no way fair comment and was motivated purely by malice. And I deeply regret any distress that my comments may have caused you or your family. And I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.